My boyfriend proposed and I said yes. 5 minutes later, I took the ring off. I'd been with Noah for 3 years. Everyone said we were perfect together. His mom loved me. My friends adored him. We finished each other's sentences at dinner parties and had inside jokes that made us laugh until we cried. But there was one thing I'd been clear about from the start. I didn't want kids. Not someday. Not maybe. Not ever. And I told Noah this when things were getting serious. He nodded and said he understood. Said he was fine with it. Said he loved me for who I was. For the first year, it wasn't an issue. We traveled. We moved in together. Life was good. But somewhere around year 2, things changed. Noah started pointing out babies at restaurants. Look how cute, he'd say, watching some toddler playing peekaboo with his mom. I'd smile and change the subject. Then came the hypotheticals. If we had kids, what would you want to name them? He'd ask while we were watching TV. We're not having kids, I'd remind him. I know, but hypothetically. He'd grin like it was just a fun game. Like my answer didn't matter because it wasn't real. By year 3, it got worse. He started talking about when we have a family instead of if. He'd casually mention how his coworker's wife changed her mind about kids after they got married, how his cousin didn't want children either until she hit 30 and suddenly did. People change, he'd say with this knowing look, like I was just going through a phase, like I'd wake up one day and suddenly want to be a mother. Every time I'd tell him the same thing. Noah, I'm not changing my mind. This is who I am. And every time he'd smile and kiss my forehead and say, I know babe, I'm just talking. Then came the proposal. He picked this fancy Italian restaurant downtown, the kind with cloth napkins and waiters and bow ties. I knew it was coming because he'd been acting weird all week, nervous energy, checking his phone. When he got down on one knee, I felt my heart explode. Of course I said yes. I loved him. I wanted to marry him. The ring was beautiful. People at nearby tables clapped. I was crying. He was crying. It was perfect. We sat back down and he immediately grabbed my hands across the table. I've been thinking, he started, eyes bright. For the wedding, we should do it in the spring. And then maybe we can start trying right away. I was thinking if it's a boy, we could name him after your dad, Ray Jr. And if it's a girl, maybe Aaron. You've always loved that name, right? Everything stopped. The restaurant noise faded. I just stared at him. What? Our kids, he said, grinning. I've had the names picked out for months. I wanted to wait until after I proposed to tell you. My hands went cold. Noah, I told you. I'm not changing my mind about children. His smile faltered. Come on, we're engaged now. We're going to be a family. We are a family, just us, like we've always been. But that's not a real family. His voice got harder. That's just 2 people living together. I pulled my hands back. I've been telling you for 3 years. I don't want kids. I thought you'd come around. He looked genuinely confused, like he'd been living in a completely different relationship. Everyone said you would. My mom said it's just a phase, that once women get married, they change. Your mom said what? She said lots of women think they don't want kids until they're actually married, that it's different when you're in a committed relationship. I felt sick. That doesn't matter. What matters is us, our future. Are you really going to throw away 3 years because you're too selfish to even consider it? Selfish? My voice came out sharper than I meant. Yes, selfish. You won't even try. You won't even think about it. You're just shutting down the idea of a real future. This is a real future. This, right here, what we have. But apparently that's not enough for you. It's not about enough. It's about building something, about legacy, about purpose. So I have no purpose because I don't want to be a mother? He didn't answer right away, just looked at me with this mixture of disappointment and pity that made me want to scream. I thought you'd change, he said quietly. I really did. I waited 3 years for you to become the person I needed you to be. And that's when I understood. He'd never accepted me. Not really. He'd been waiting this whole time for me to transform into someone else. Someone who wanted what he wanted. Someone who'd fit into his vision of the future. I took off the ring and set it on the table between us. We broke up that night. Didn't even make it to dessert. 3 years later, I saw his engagement photos pop up on social media. He looked happy. She looked happy. They were holding a baby onesie between them in one of the pictures. I stared at it for a long time. And then I smiled because he'd found someone who wanted what he wanted. And I'd found peace with who I am. I'm with someone new now. Someone who heard I don't want kids and said okay and meant it.